everyone is having a good morning. What's up, Frenzy, John, Comet, Harsha? Same people as always. Let's get it. Another Tuesday morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Market is gapping up. Sure. SPY up 1.55%, QQQ 1.9, IWM 1.9. All based off of all estimates are looking bullish. Typical, right? September is usually the most bearish month over the history of the market. Let's see what we got here. Third best start to Q4 since 1930. That is electric. That is awesome. So, a lot of good news. Awesome. This always happens, right? September bearish, and then October comes around, and boom, we rip. But we also had, right, the Fed, some decent news. So let's see what's going on here in pre-market. Right, nice gap up. Now we're sitting right at resistance. This is SPY, previous resistance on from September 28th. Right, we're sitting right here at resistance. Right, so this is the level to watch if we dip below. Right, pre-market low is a good spot to take puts, and pre-market high is a potential good spot to take calls. Right, but if we do break the pre-market high, right, 373.45 is just previous support, so definitely can act as a resistance, right, as always. What's up, Cedar? How you doing? Damn, what's going on? What's everyone looking at this morning? All right, so I'm keeping an eye on SPY and obviously SPX. All right, but we are sitting right at this resistance here. We have a gap to be filled down low here. All right, so I need to be careful of that. All right, let me draw the box. All right, right here. This is a huge gap to be filled. All right, so something to keep an eye on. All right, play the levels. If this level breaks, you can play puts. If this level breaks, you can play calls. Right, every single morning. VIX here, below the lows from yesterday. Right, dipped below the pretty major support. Right, bounced once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Now we're dipping below. But we are approaching this previous resistance that we dipped, that we rejected multiple times. Right, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, and so on. All right, so just something to be aware of. Look at this chart on VIX. Kind of flagging pretty big time here. Need to keep an eye on this chart. Definitely need to keep an eye on this. If everyone could please drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. So really interesting turning point here. All right, take a look at QQQ. All right, what I mentioned the other day, right? Previous support on June 16th, we dipped below, right, for about a day, and now we shot right back up. Oh, excuse me. We dipped right below, and we rocketed right back up, broke out of this wedge here, and now we're sitting at the highs here. Right, so typical move. Right, nice fake out before the breakout every single time, happens on every time frame, and it always happens. Right, so it's definitely something that you always have to be aware of. Let's see what's going on. All right, ideally I want this to break that candle, right? 281.24. Once it breaks this, we should see a push up to 285, right? That would be a nice run, right? Not much resistance here. But nice reversal, right? This is just a typical reversal pattern that I always post in the Discord. Let me pull it up and I'll show you guys. Right here. This pattern right here on the right hand side is this exact thing. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breaks out, right? You enter right here or here, and boom. Every single time. Right, so this is the next target, right? Because we previous support, previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. Right, so if this can break, the next target is this previous support as a new resistance. Right, so the same thing over and over again. Right, as always, read the rules every single morning. Right, drill these in your head. Plan the trade, trade the plan. Right, trade only the best setups. Don't focus on the money, because when you do, right, you'll get greedy, you'll get emotional, you'll start to chase. No setup, no trade, patience. Right, set stop losses based on the chart support and resistance, not percentage based, and never size more than 3%. Right, should probably read that. That's like the commandments of trading. That's what I'll do actually. I'll draw out a bunch of rules and I'll do it the 10 commandments. That's funny. Rivian up 5.5%. They had, pretty sure they had the delivery estimate out. Yeah. $73.63. So they're targeting 25,000 vehicles. Wow. It was up 9%, but now it's only up 5% or so. Yeah, if everyone can drop a like on the video, I'd appreciate it. Nope, I do not look at. I don't look at contract prices, right? Because I'm just playing the chart. And that's it. So what's my game plan here at open? Right, when there's a gap up or a gap down, I always like to wait for an opening range. Right, because it's pretty volatile at open, especially when there's a gap up and a gap down. Right, a lot of resistance or supports can be taken out. Yes, you can get a very nice play right at the open, but it's more of a guessing game in my opinion. So I always wait for an opening range, especially if everything's up 2 to 3%. All right, so I'm gonna wait for an opening range, wait for a setup to develop intraday, and then take something based off intraday movement. 2K challenge started yesterday. Haven't taken a play on it yet. Right, I'm very patient when it comes to a small account. If you were here for my previous challenge account, it took me a while to take a trade on the 2K account, and then once we got started, we got rolling. Right, trades were coming every day. Right, in the beginning, I like to start it slow. I like to wait for the best setups because we have the smallest amount of room for error. Right, so I wait for the good setups. I'll let the setups come to me, and once I see a good setup that I think has a high probability of hitting, I take it. A little late, but why do you call it a gap up Tuesday? It's just it's no significant thing about Tuesdays. It's just we're gapping up and it's Tuesday. Don't think too much about it. Opening range, yeah, just high and a low, right in the beginning of the market. Beginning and open. How big are my positions when I do the 2K challenge? It's a challenge account, right? So I don't care if I lose it, right? We also did 2,000 to 17,000 on the previous challenge, so we're playing with profits here, right? So ideally, I'm going to go bigger, right? I'm going to go basically, 50 to 100% of the portfolio, right? 2,000. I'm looking to grow it. I'm not looking to, just sit here and dilly-dally with $100 profits. I don't really care about that. I want to grow it as quick as possible. No, there's no goal. Right, just green. Profit's the goal. All right, the point of a challenge account is to grow it as quick as possible. It's not; these aren't plays to, or right. You could definitely take the plays on a main account, but the sizing is really what changes, right? It's a challenge account. It doesn't matter if we lose it. Playing with profits. I just need to reiterate that again. Please drop a like on the video. Yeah, my one-on-ones are on Discord, and I share my screen and go and do all that. How long is my opening range time frame? No specific time frame, just waiting for a high and a low to be put in place, right? I'm looking for a period of consolidation and then a low or high to be taken out. I don't look at moving averages, Logan. I just trade off support and resistance. But this is definitely an extremely bullish open. Right, many resistances are being taken out, right? We rejected these levels across the board for a long time. We're finally breaking out, right? Especially on Amazon here. Definitely keeping an eye on Amazon. Stronger of all the tech names. Right, over this resistance here, right? Rejected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Right, now we're sitting above it here. Right, was a previous resistance here. Right, so now next level is 120.72, right? This previous support is going to act as a resistance. Right, it's going to float in this range. If it can break this, we should test the next level here at 123.66. Okay. I don't use fibs. I just use support and resistance for entries and exits. Not much to look at here in pre-market. Everything's gapping up. I'm gonna have to wait for an opening range. AMD, definitely need to watch this level here. Right around 68.77, or yeah, right around 68.77. Right, I have my alert set already. You can see it there. I'm gonna set it on the line as well. Right, rejected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. Right, 5 times it rejected this level. keep an eye on it. Need to see what happens there. Same with Nvidia, right? Nvidia right at this resistance here. Need to keep an eye on that. Am I still looking at a Nvidia for a swing? That wasn't me. Maybe it was someone else. In the Discord, if you scroll to the bottom, I'm in the live trading channel at 9:30. If a gap is filled during pre-market, is it considered filled? No. Because then it's just gonna gap through it. And then there's another gap to be filled. Okay. So Beef Brisket asks a good question. All right, very good question. He said, how do you account for when sometimes a resistance pops up between levels? So for example, let's say a resistance is at 38.15, but we hit resistance at 38.07, right? Happens all the time, right? You never want to really wait until the actual level, right? Most of the time, a resistance will be rejected a few points before, right? All the time. For example, right here, resistance is at 126.33, right? We move up, we break out over this pink trend line here, and we reject, right at, let's see what level this is, right? We reject at 125.89, right? All the time this happens, all the time, right? So what usually happens? Right, we'll reject before and we'll usually consolidate below, right? It will set up for a move to break out over that level, right? So look what happened here. Let me turn this off, right? We created a perfect flag, right? Every single time we came back to the downside here, right? Look at the wicks, right? Strong buying momentum, right? Then we created a higher low. Then we had a strong candle to the upside, and then right we test this level again, consolidate, and then break out, right? Every single time that happens. See if we can find another example. We're also going to the downside here. Right, so obviously trend has a big factor. Hopefully that cleared some things up for you. But I always take profits a little bit beforehand. Right, I always like to take it on the momentum. Right, if we break out, that point right after you break out is the best point to take profits. Right, IV is the highest. You get the best fills. Right, you got to fill at the ask instead of the bid. You never want to wait. Right, once it starts consolidating, the right contract prices start to deteriorate. How do you determine what strike price you're going to take? Right, I always do whatever my price target is. A few strikes out of the money. Take a look at Tesla. Right, so I'm still bearish on Tesla, honestly. Right, until that setup breaks. Right, multiple resistances. Right, we had that triple top or quadruple top. Right, then we had double bottom, and then we broke below. Right, this support right here. Or you can either draw it like that, or I mean, you could draw it like this now. Right, there's different ways to look at it. No really perfect way to do it, but Overall downtrend, right? We dipped below. I might watch puts at a rejection of this high here. I'm going to watch for puts at that level. Right? If this high rejects, I'm going to look for puts. There's a gap to be filled, so definitely if it breaks, it could run. But overall downtrend, see what happens. I always leave runners if the setup is good enough, right? Don't just leave runners to leave runners, right? If there's momentum in the market and there's levels to be broken above, then you leave runners. I never look at the Greeks now. Right, if you're day trading and you're entering for a scalp or a day trade, there's typically not enough time to look at the Greeks. I haven't looked at the Greeks in years. Right, because again, if you're playing off the chart, the option prices move based off the chart, right? Based off the price. So if you're playing price, it's really the only thing you need to look at. It makes it very, very simple. Let's get a few more likes in here. Try and get to 100 plus. Would appreciate it. I have a few videos coming. Been working on them. All right, strike price is definitely high up there. How to make a plan, right? What is a high probability setup? I'm definitely going to cover, right? How to set stop losses, how to determine strike price, how to determine your entry price, right? How to trade with no emotion, how to size your positions. All these videos will be separate and they'll all be coming soon. What's the advantage of taking in the money plays? Less theta, right? You'll have more time, right? Risk is lower, but reward is also lower. My watch list doesn't really change. I typically just trade these tickers here. Also going to do a video on how do you know if it's a fake breakout or not. Thank you for mentioning that. Let me write that down. Right, so how do you know if it's a fake breakout or not? You don't, right? No one knows what's going to happen, right? If someone tells you that they know what's going to happen, not a good person to listen to, right? No one knows what's going to happen, especially retail, right? There's definitely insiders that know what they're doing with, you know, people that are on the floor or in Wall Street, right? They know, you know, news ahead of time, you know, whatever it may be that can affect the market. But 99.9% of people have no idea what's going to happen, right? So how do we get around and how do we make money, right? You make a plan, right? There's different setups that have high probabilities of hitting. Bull flag, right? Pennants, inverse head and shoulders, all these patterns have a high probability of hitting, right? Since the market's been a thing, these patterns have been a thing, right? It's technical analysis for a reason. It's like counting cards, right? Take the time to learn it, develop a system, create a plan, and trade the plan. Right, yesterday, this flag was almost perfect. I didn't trade it because I didn't see it at the time, right? But I mean, look at this flag. This flag was perfect, right? 3 lows, buying momentum, right? Based off these wicks, every single time they stepped in, right? Moved up, came back down. This right here at the break of this level, perfect entry spot, right? Consolidated right at previous resistance, and boom, breaks out to the upside. It's this target, it's this target, and continues to run to the next resistance and then continues. All right, so 4 minutes to market open. What I'll be doing is waiting for an opening range, right? No need to rush into any positions. Right? As always, if there's no setup, there's no trade. So be risk first. Don't get greedy, right? If you can't find a trade, move on to the next setup, or, you know, wait till the next day. There's no rush. All right, so I'm gonna go into the Discord. Appreciate everyone stopping by as always, and I will see you there.